Welcome to Wealthy Mind, where we talk about all things finances, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the surprising. Hello, and welcome to Wealthy Mind. I am your host, Misty Rose Gold, International Success Coach. And here at Wealthy Mind, we love to help you create and maintain a wealthy mind. Today, I have a fun guest with me, and I said fun because he's fun. His name is Mark. So, welcome, Mark.
Hi, thanks for having me.
And thank you for coming on our show. Would you please tell our audience what is your full name and what do you do?
Sure, my name is Mark Weithorn, and I'm the founder and CEO of DPI Showcase Websites. We create specialized websites for real estate agents and brokers across the United States and Canada.
Very specialized niche. I like it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've been doing this 21 years now. Man, time flies.
Mm.
Yeah, we've helped a lot of people advance in their careers, make a living, and, really realize their dreams.
Well, I can tell that you love what you do. Time flies when you're having fun.
Sure.
Definitely. So you are also a speaker, correct?
Yeah, I do lots of different things. First, I teach marketing classes to realtors. I've done that nationally and then mostly at the Miami Association of Realtors. I've probably taught over 40,000 real estate agents through the years. And then I've spoken at various tech conferences on AI, on other technology. I had one fun speech I gave. It was in front of all these programmers. It was called the KISS method, Keep IT Systems Simple. And I was telling them, stop overcomplicating things. I'm used to the button being on the right side. Don't move it to the left side needlessly.
Mm.
And I thought they were going to throw like you know cabbage at me and stuff like that. It was like they were so pissed at me. And then about 2.5 years ago, I was a keynote speaker at a tech conference at LA Tech Week,
Mm-hmm.
talking about AI. This is when it just hit the ground, and everyone was like, "Wow, what's it going to do? Where's it going to go?"
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke for about half hour, 40 minutes about how these new technologies come about and what to expect. For example, when the internet first came out,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, it's great. We're going to do, sell diapers online, diapers.com, or, things like that. And, a lot of these companies, they raised a lot of money. They blew through a lot of money and then they disappeared. We had a dot-com bomb. And but the technology was sound, so those things that made sense survived.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a similar situation now with AI. There's a lot of money being poured into it, and there will be a shakeout. But the technology is sound, and we'll see who the survivors are.
I like your perspective on AI. It's a hot topic for 2026. So I'm glad we're having this conversation. Uh, with the business that you have, you create something amazing for realtors and brokerages, their website, right? It's amazing. Do you integrate AI into it?
Yeah, absolutely. We launched our first AI product in April. We call it leads.ai. And what we're doing is we're using AI technology to find people who are online searching for real estate. And then what we're providing to the realtors are people that we think are primed to sell their homes. As a realtor, you always want listings. You want people to sign up with you to sell their home because then you're under contract.
Hmm.
If you're working with buyers, then there's no contract and they can talk to you one day and then jump ship and go to another realtor the next day. So listings are really important. So we launched this in April and it's been amazing. We've been signing up a lot of people
Hmm.
and they're getting leads, and now we're expanding it to mortgage brokers and insurance agents, and they're getting leads as well. And it's our first foray into the AI products. We're starting to plan for 2026 another AI product, but I can't tell you what it is. It's a secret.
Well, when it's ready for the public, let me know and we'll have you back on. How's that?
You got a deal.
All right. We like secrets around here. A little bit of hush hush never hurt anybody. That's wonderful. Well, I'm excited for the new product, even though you can't talk about it right now. But I appreciate from your expertise and experience that AI is helping your clients increase their revenue and increase their exposure, and it's, getting them listings. Awesome, great. So if we have realtors listening or heads of the brokerage listening, please, please, please perk up a little bit more because this is an industry that AI can really help.
A lot of people are confused about AI. I go to a lot of conferences, real estate conferences and tech conferences, and especially at the real estate conferences, they have all these classes on AI, and you have some really energetic person who gets up to the front of the room and they go, "Oh, it's amazing. All you have to do is this and this and this and this and that and that and that and this and this and this." And then the hour is over and they're done. And then I turn around to the person next to me. I said, "Did you understand what they were saying?" And they look at me and they go, "No." Totally confused. Okay. And this isn't happening just once. It's like
Hmm.
a lot. So a lot of people are scared about AI. Is it going to replace them? They're nervous that they don't know what to do. And what we try and do at DPI is we simplify how it works so it automates as much as possible so you don't have to figure it out. And then we give you
Hmm.
the end result, which is, getting you leads, getting you business.
Hmm. I like that you simplify it. You're speaking my language now. Let's simplify everything.
People are afraid of technology. It, you
Mm,
know, it started with AOL. You got a disk in the mail, you plugged it into your computer and you uploaded AOL and you've got mail. And from there, it's just gotten very, very complicated. One of the reasons
quickly. It's,
quick,
yeah, this is quick. Like, we're in the age of technology. 100 years ago, what was that? Nobody knew what tech was 100 years ago, right? So it's like during my lifetime, I've seen phones, computers, all the things that we use every single day now. But the first 10 years of my life, no, we didn't have any of that stuff.
look at the iPhone. I mean, that has changed everything.
Hmm.
We hold a very powerful computer in our hands, in our pockets, at all times,
Hmm.
and it's really changed how we communicate. But the beautiful thing about the iPhone is its simplicity. It has power, it does all these things, but it does it simply, so you don't have to be a tech wizard to know how to do it.
Mm.
For example, we have a client management system, a CRM in our system. It's built into our websites. And if we're going to add a feature, it has to be automated. We have a lot of competitors who have CRMs that has a lot of things you have to learn and do manually. And most people are not tech people. They're afraid.
Right.
So we automate as much as possible just to take that fear away from people.
Mm, I appreciate that you do that. Especially those of us that did not grow up with an iPad in our hands or an iPhone. It's more challenging. Just it is. It's naturally more challenging for us. So anybody that's, I'm going to say about 45 years or older, it can be a massive learning curve, which is why I love to pay other people to help me with my technology. So for you guys out there, please pay him to help you with your technology. Please just make your life easier.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
hmm Definitely. So there are some upsides to AI, and I would like to figure out what some of those are from your perspective, your expertise, your industry. How does AI help?
Well, there are certain groups of people, like people who have to do reports. You know, they work for corporations and things like that, and corporations are big on having reports so the upper echelon, C-suite people know where the company's going. Or you have accountants or lawyers who have to write things. So ChatGPT and products like that are great at writing these reports for you. So instead of spending 8 hours writing something, it could take you an hour, hour and a half, where you just you prompt in the bullet points, and then ChatGPT will organize it based on, past reports that have been put out. And then those things are 90% complete. You have to go in and then, proof it
Mhm.
and fix it. So that's really what's going on now. That's what most people are using this for. As realtors, there aren't many things you could do. Like if you get a listing and you need to write 50 words or 75 words description on a property. So when you put it in the MLS, it shows up with that description. Yeah, you could do that, but are you going to pay $20 a month for that?
Hmm.
So that's where it's at. Um,
Hmm.
Generative AI, where let's say I wanted a picture of myself riding a horse, through the forest. Yeah, it'll do that, but it's you still need human creativity
hmm
to do something that's really worthwhile.
Hmm.
I did see something that was amazing. I was at a Google conference, and now they're doing AI videos where they plug in a script, and there's a lot of prompts that you have to give it, but the videos look real. It looks like real people doing real things, and that's going to have a dramatic impact on Hollywood. It's already having a dramatic impact on advertising production, where if you wanted to produce an ad, they showed one example for Heinz ketchup, where normally it would take 5, 6 weeks to produce it. Now it takes about 8 hours to produce it.
Hmm.
So that's going to have a huge impact. So there are pockets of our labor or different industries where it's having an effect, but then there's other industries that it hasn't reached yet, and we'll have to see
Right.
how it goes.
Yep. So that happens every time we evolve as a society. Certain industries might fall away or change, and then certain industries become more desirable. So when you talk about these AI videos or marketing videos, I recently saw a Coca-Cola video or a Coca-Cola commercial, and it was all AI generated. You could tell from beginning to end, it was all AI. And I'm like, how long did it take IA to create that versus their marketing team that could have created that, with all the bears and everything? This time it was the Coca-Cola trucks. Uh, how long? Then, like you said, it's like it shortens the time of creation, whereas they had their staff on it, and maybe it took them 2 months to create one of the bear commercials. AI probably spit this out in a couple hours. So it's fascinating.
It probably took a day. I remember back in the day, um, when I first started in this industry, we were doing typesetting. And you had a waxing machine and you had to glue down the type and the pictures and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And then desktop publishing came out and it was horrible. I mean, the resolution was terrible, but I embraced it. I had a client we were doing retail advertising, and one of my clients was a cellular telephone distributor. That's when the cellular telephones were like mounted in your car.
Hmm.
And there was a Monday, a Business Monday ad, and the deadline for that was Friday morning. And Thursday, he would always call me with these like deals he got on these cellular phones, and he had to get it in there. And I used desktop publishing to produce the ad, print it out, and run it over to the newspaper and get it into Monday's paper. And before you couldn't do that.
Mm.
I ended up then going and working for a an ad agency who refused to embrace that.
Wow.
And he was out of business in a couple of years. So,
Mm.
you have to embrace the new technology. You have to go with it, but it still requires the human element. It
Thank you for
doesn't,
emphasizing that.
yeah, it will automate things that you want to do, but you still need a person to come in there and tell it what to do. To drive
Yes.
the bus.
Yes. So thank you for calming down people's fears. Most of the industries that we have now are going to stick around. They're going to have to change a little bit. So, um, you've been in business for 20 plus years. Pivoting is nature of the game in any industry. And sometimes a different industry, you have to pivot a lot faster than others. But what would you say to the business owners that are looking at, like, okay, AI does help my industry, and how do I use it to pivot right now? What do you say to those people?
So you have to evolve. My favorite saying is the only constant is change. We're a tech company, a 21-year-old tech company, and the reason that we're 21 years old is we're constantly evolving, constantly changing. About 8 years ago, we decided to redo our software from scratch, which was about a 14, 16-month process,
Mm,
a painful process.
mm-hmm,
But we had to do it because, everything needed to be mobile friendly.
mm-hmm.
Now, about 50, 60% of all online searches are done on a cell phone. And we needed to change. And then we're constantly adding new products. We're in the middle of redoing our CRM, our client management system. It's going to launch like in 2 weeks. Uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, I don't sound nervous, but I am. Uh,
Yeah.
we've been working on this for about 3, 4 months, and yeah, what the fun thing about working with programmers is when they're doing something like this, they'll go dark for about 2 months where you really don't hear from them.
Mm-hmm,
And you're just like, you're going, okay, they know what they're doing. Just, just chill, let them do their thing.
mm-hmm,
And then they show you something and you go, wow, great. And you tinker a little and they go, okay, fine.
mm-hmm.
And then they go dark again.
Yep.
So we're supposed to launch right after the new year and they've gone dark on me again. So yeah, I'm not nervous. I'm fine.
Yes, I understand what it is to take on a bunch of new technology and the build out process, and I understand your nerves. So here we are, like this was me embracing because I'm one of the holdouts on any technology because it's not my strength. I have to like sit there and have people hand hold me to teach me some of the processes, and I have to co-create with the tech people to make sure it fits my brand. And it's a massive challenge, and it's one that we just have to accept if we're going to integrate new technology into our businesses. It can take time, it can take months, it can take years sometimes, depending on what it is that we're doing. And I think the key in there is just accepting it, accepting the suck and do it anyway.
But that's okay. Where your technique of sitting back and waiting is okay. I do the same thing myself. For example, 3 years ago, there was all this, hype about blockchain, Web3, and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And I sat with some of my team members and we said, well, is this applicable to us? What do we do? What kind of products can we create? And we kept coming up with ideas and throwing it out and coming up with ideas. And then at the end of the day, we said, you know what? This is not for us. We don't
Mm,
need this.
yeah.
It's the same thing with AI. A couple of years ago when I spoke on it, people thought this was going to be like, the Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's going to be machines are going to rule the world. They're going to learn how to think and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And now all of a sudden it's settling down and we're starting to see the actual tools and the technology. And now I'm creating products after, the hype has kind of like settled in a little.
Yep. And I haven't found a use for AI in my personal business yet because it's easy for me to write a topic, or I'm a speaker, so if I'm going and writing a topic, it's easy for me to do that. um Not everybody has that gift where they can just spit out a new program in 20 minutes. Thankfully I do, and I'm grateful for it because I've been doing this for so long. It just naturally comes out of me. So if I didn't have that ability, that's where I could see the use of AI in my business, is to help me with my speaking topics and that kind of stuff, but I don't need it right now. So it's just, I love it when my clients come to me and they're like, "Hey, Misty, I used AI to write this thing." And I'm like, "Cool, let's go." Like, have at it. And some of my people use AI as like a friend, and they bounce their personal issues off of AI. And I'm like, however you need to use it, please use it. If you love using it, use it. If it helps you be more efficient and productive, please, please go ahead. I just haven't found a use for it yet.
I enjoy writing myself. Occasionally, I have to write articles for different publications.
Hmm.
And I tried using ChatGPT. I would give it tons of prompts and stuff. And I say, write me a 900 word article on this. And I ended up rewriting it.
Mm,
It wasn't in my style. It wasn't the way I think.
mm-hmm.
And I just, I enjoy writing. So,
Hmm.
it was something that I would prefer to do manually than to have some rote machine spit something out.
It works for me too to do it myself. I love to write. I'm an author. I love to write my speaking topics. It's just, it works. So thank you for backing me up on that one because I'm like, I am in support of AI if it helps the business owner or the employee. Like if they need to write up something for a meeting, awesome. Use AI to help you and then fine tune it. Go for it. Or one of the best places I've seen AI help people is people that have ADHD and they have difficulty focusing and producing something very that's basic to me or basic to you, people who love to write and can produce like that. It might take them 2 weeks to get something on paper that's one page, whereas they can use AI to help them with their scattered brain and get something on paper within an hour. So that is like the most life-changing use that I've seen of AI to date.
Sure, that makes sense. Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah. So there are major uses of it. Like it was a client of mine and his employee, and he was mad that she was using AI. And I said, no, no, don't be mad at her because it makes her more productive. She has ADHD. It makes her more productive. Embrace that she's using it. She's not asking you to use it. And if she is, you can tell her to go away. But let your employees use the AI because it does help.
Sure.
Hmm.
There are applications for it, and Google is coming out with all these tools, especially with retail advertising, not marketing, buying online and things like that. And it makes sense. There are other tools that some retailers are using or companies, service companies are using, which are a total pain in the neck. For example, you want to call your bank. And, used to be you spend 5 minutes knowing that you're going to press one, press two, things like that, enter your social security number, all of that. Well, that 5 minutes has now become 15, 20 minutes. And then you end up talking to a person regardless. So, yeah. And it's really frustrating. And I
Hmm.
think that eventually the businesses are going to come around and they're going to realize that their clients are not embracing what they think is really great technology. So
Hmm.
it'll come around.
Hmm. I see a couple years of fine tuning happening. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
good. Well, this is a really important conversation for us to have, and I'm glad that we're having it because AI is the big topic for 26 in most circles. So thank you for clarifying some things, and thank you for calming some fears for people. And the way that you've presented it, it's like, okay, we're not behind. But if you do need to adopt or adapt to using AI and adopt it into your business, please do so. And start small. You can always start small. You can go big, but start small, figure it out, fine tune as you go. For people that are allergic to technology like myself, do what you have to do. Go to the spa, take something, have a glass of wine, do something, buckle up for the ride. Just don't drink yourself into oblivion every night because of it.
Ah,
Please, please, please. If you can figure out a way that it works for your business, please use it. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Like for me, I haven't found a use for it yet, but maybe after this refining process is over, I'll find a beautiful use for it in my business. Who knows? So, is there anything else that you would like to talk about regarding AI before we move on?
just don't be afraid of it. You will find, uses for it. But at the end of the day, it's more about people are still people. People still need to talk to people. People still need to communicate with each other.
Mm.
And just don't be afraid of it.
Mm. Yeah, good. I like that advice. Very important advice. So that leads me to something that I'm going to be doing throughout 26 with my guests, if they're willing, participants. I have a little exercise that I would like to take you through so that we can really start shifting our deeper programming toward money from stress to something better. And I'm not going to define what that something better is. Each person needs to define what that something better is. But most of us have that deeper programming that as soon as we think about money, there's a stress trigger. And I think it's really important for us to be able to live more fulfilled, to live with less stress on a daily basis. And most of the stress that people experience is financially related somehow. It can usually be tied back to money, even if it's a relationship issue, right? So um, I want everyone to experience a better relationship with money. So that's the point of this exercise. And I don't even know what to call it yet, right? It's like we need to do it. I'm doing it with people privately, but also I want to do this publicly so that we can help the public create a better relationship with money. So if you have any suggestions on what to call it, you can throw it at me later. But here we go. It's a very simple process, very simple exercise. I would like you to tell me an attainable financial goal that you have. And if you want to tell me numbers, that's okay. If you don't want to tell me numbers, that's okay. But the most important part is for you to see that number in your bank account. And it needs to be attainable. It's like the next step financially.
Sure. So that gets down to retirement and exit strategies and all sorts of things
Mm.
like that.
Hmm.
That's where it really boils down to. I'm in my 60s and I enjoy what I do. And I get people who ask me, "Are you still working?" And I go, "Yeah, I love what I do. I'm having a good time."
Mm.
But you always have this thing in the back of your head that goes, "Okay, one day I'll wake up and I'll go, you know what? I've had enough fun.
Mm.
Had enough. I need to, downsize or sell the business or things like that."
Hmm.
What you have to do is you have to do some financial planning. You have to look at what it would cost you, what it would take for you to live in the lifestyle that you want a year. And then, you take that number and you have to
Hmm.
multiply it by 10,
Hmm.
because if you invest properly, like, the S&P 500, it's been going gangbusters since World War II. And then that's the amount of money that you need in the bank. And
Okay. So that
so
gives us a clear, it'll give you a clear idea of what your exit strategy needs to be and your exit goal financially. So what would you like if you sell your business? What would you like the exit number to be?
I haven't figured that out yet. I'm still, I don't know yet. Um, it's a hard thing. First of all, it's really hard to sell your business.
Hmm.
It's not like selling a house where, you get
Correct.
people that come through. Selling a business is really hard. And the first thing you need to do is to be able to separate yourself from the business. So, for
Hmm.
example, it can't be Mark's business where if Mark goes away or, or gets hit by a bus or something, the business folds.
Yeah.
You need to be able to have the business survive without you, so someone else
Hmm.
can step in.
Hmm.
And then you have to be realistic as to what it's worth. I've talked to a lot of business brokers, and most of them are not that good. They go, "What's your net? What's your gross? What's your net? There's the multiple, this is what we're gonna," and it's like, they really don't put the time and effort in to really understand your business or what it does. For example,
So I'm gonna interject right there because as a success coach, I work with people on growth strategies and exit strategies. This is my wheelhouse. We're talking my language right now. And I work with an M&A expert. Their base is here in Denver, but they do work nationally and internationally, and they are amazing. My people are they're like a unicorn in this space because it's not just about the transaction, it's about the legacy that your business is leaving behind and the life you want to live after. So, we can talk more about that after we finish the interview because it is a very thorough evaluation of the business and the person and what are we doing? Why are we doing it? So very, very useful. I'm sorry that the business brokers that you've spoken to are useless for you, but we can take care of that. So,
well, that's refreshing to hear because it's hard to find qualified people, and
hmm.
what you're describing is exactly what needs to be done. It's not just, what's your gross, what's your net, all right, here's the
Hmm.
multiple. That's it. It's like, I
Hmm.
spoke to one guy, he asked me that. I said, can we date a little before we, get to this? It's, it's it's like, come on, I don't
Hmm.
even know you.
Right. So, for those who are listening and are curious of who it is, it's SDR Ventures. And I did four interviews with Jeff. He's the CEO. I did four interviews with Jeff. So if you guys are curious, you could go back and check out the interviews. Geoff, Jeff Eliason with SDR Ventures. Great man, great company. I work very closely with them with a lot of businesses, and he's a unicorn in the space. M&A is usually known to be very transactional and no lubricant. They will actually spend time and date you first.
Yeah, that's so important. It
Hmm.
really is
Hmm.
because every business is unique
Hmm. There.
and you can't apply the same principles like if I owned a pizza parlor and I want
Hmm.
to sell that, the principles for selling that are a lot different than selling a tech company that has a subscription-based business.
Yes, most
And
definitely. And the multipliers are different on every business and the execution of everything. So if Jeff comes along and gives a business owner a plan for their exit, then I come in with the implementation piece, and that's how we work together.
amazing.
Hmm. Yeah. It is. It's amazing. So remember, you guys, it's not like selling a house, especially for all the realtors that are listening. Selling a business is not like selling a house. It can take 3 to 8 years, depending on where you're at in the business process to prepare to exit. Because again, you have to become the CEO of your business. You have to be removable, replaceable. And I know that hurts our ego because as entrepreneurs, we love that the business revolves around us. But it can't if you're going to exit. It just can't.
I read a great book many years ago. It's called Built to Last.
Mm,
And, it was talking about, how to build a company that can grow. And the next thing you know, they're talking about McDonald's. And I'm going, how does McDonald's relate to me? And the success of McDonald's was they had procedures in place. They had
hmm.
owner's manuals.
Hmm.
So everyone knew what to do and what the quality was,
Hmm.
and it was replicable.
Yes.
And you have to do that. You have to
Yes.
replace yourself.
Repeatable processes. So I tell everyone that is even considering selling their business in the future, make sure you set it up as though you were going to franchise it. If you do that, it is a sellable asset. Okay. So we digress. Let's go back to the exercise. Let's pick a number out of thin air because you don't know right now, but I'm going to say 10 million. So let's say 10 million is in your bank account. So back to the exercise about money. Let's get down to like the deeper programming around money. What do we think about it straight away? I would love people to have healthier, more positive reactions when they think about money. So this exercise helps people get there. If you think about $10 million in your bank account upon your exit, okay, I'm just pulling a number. Really focus on that number. How does that number make you feel? If you know that number is in your bank account, you see it in your account right now. How does that number make you feel?
Well, it definitely gives you a warm feeling, definitely gives you security.
Hmm.
Know that that cushion is there. And then if you're responsible and you just basically live off of the interest that it earns, great. If something comes up and you need to just tap into the principal or, for whatever reason, you
Hmm.
have some cushion there. But you have to be responsible. You realize that when you have a business, you're working off of cash flow. And that's, money comes in, you spend some, and, that's it. But the minute you retire and you have that money in the bank, you're on a fixed income.
Hmm.
And you have to be really responsible for that. I have hobbies. I would probably get into some of my hobbies. I love to do photography. It was my first love, and in order to do that, I have to travel, and then I would probably end up exhibiting at these, art fairs and things like that. But that would be nice. Um,
Mm, I love that for you. Is there any other feeling that comes with thinking of the 10 million in your bank account, seeing it in your bank account, not just thinking about it, but seeing it there? So you said warm, security. Is there anything else?
there's a sense of accomplishment
Mm,
that you have worked for many years building something, and that someone else has seen the value of that and rewarded you for that.
mm, I like that. Huh. So what if you take all of those good feelings about money, thinking of 10 million in your bank account and infuse it in your day-to-day, your interactions with money right now?
So I'm blessed because I really enjoy what I do.
I know you do. And I know
I
you don't have a tremendous amount of stress around money either. I know that already.
I just, I'm a marketing person. I'm not a programmer. I own a tech company and I couldn't write a line of code if my life depended on it. So, I'm just, it gives me it gives me some creativity to do what we do.
Hmm.
And I really enjoy that. I work 12-hour days. It's just, I'm up at 5 in the morning because my programmers are in India. So I'm communicating with them and then I'm talking to clients all over the country the rest of the day.
Hmm.
But that's okay. I enjoy that. It's a lot of fun.
Good.
Um, so if I were to transition, it would have to be something where I wouldn't be sitting in a rocking chair with a shawl over my shoulders, growing old. I'd have to transition into something that I know would continue the creativity to keep my mind going.
Hmm.
Because the minute you stop there, that's when you start growing old. As soon as your mind
Hmm.
doesn't produce, that's when you know that, you're losing meaning in life.
Hmm. Yep. And you've worked that into your exit strategies, totally. So I have to ask because this exercise is different for each person. Do you have warm feelings toward money currently?
I don't obsess over it.
Hmm.
It's good to know that at the end of the day, that you have the money to pay your bills and live your life and do things. We just came back from a 2-week trip to the Galapagos.
Hey.
It was amazing. I saw sea lions and birds. There were blue-footed boobies is the big bird there, and penguins and lots of iguanas. Uh,
Hmm.
it was just and turtles. I can't forget the turtles. They're big.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, so it's nice to be able to have the means to do those things.
Hmm. So
And then,
you have a pretty decent relationship with money currently, huh?
yeah, well, like I said, I'm very fortunate where I have the ability to do those things.
Hmm. Definitely. So thank you for humoring me and thank you for going through the exercise with me. Uh, it's always a fun exercise, in my opinion, to be able to visualize an attainable number in our account that currently doesn't exist there. And how does it make us feel? And does it feel real? And that's where it really comes in. It's like, you know what? This number feels real. How does that make me feel? Wow, that's real. The feeling that I get around it is real. And then I challenge myself to bring that feeling into the present moment so that I'm shifting my relationship with money now instead of waiting until that money arrives. Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I'm not speaking a foreign language to you.
No, no, you're preaching to the choir.
Okay, good. Good. Excellent. Well, I know you have a positive outlook on life anyway, so we've talked about that at length, and I appreciate how you show up in life. So we should probably wrap up the interview and let our guests go and let you go. I so appreciate this conversation, and it's always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Good. I'm glad you had fun, and I hope our listeners had fun of being a fly on the wall with our conversation. So, if people want to get a hold of you, what is one way they can do that?
So our website address is dpishowcase.com. dpishowcase.com. And you'll have all of our information there.
Wonderful. Very simple. Thank you. I love simple. All right, you guys, if you have loved Mark and if you are in need of his services and you fit the demographic of the clients he works with, please reach out to him. And oh, if you want a speaker to come and speak at one of your conferences or one of your business events about AI, please book him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, until next time, I hope you make it an amazing 2026.
Thank you for tuning in to the Wealthy Mind podcast. Please be sure to download the Wealthy Mind app today and make sure to support your local Dress for Success.